When did you decide to let them ruin you? So your life's unfair, so what? That's how it is. So they're mean girling you in the press. They're calling you names that hurt your little soft spots deep inside. Well, so what? That's how it is. You lost someone you loved. You lost the one person who felt like family. Well, guess what? Grow the hell up, because that is how it is. The Cyrus I know doesn't hide in some half-empty closet and wet his pants like a little baby. The Cyrus I know is a patriot, and he bites the bullet and does what it takes to serve the Republic at all costs. So I want to know in this moment who you are, because the pathetic shell of a person that I'm looking at doesn't deserve to stand on the presidential seal in the Oval Office, let alone tell the president what to do. So who are you, Cy? Who are you? Who are you? Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that sample monologue. That was from the television show called Scandal, and it was season 4, episode 9, Where the Sun Don't Shine. As you can tell, this week we are focusing on delivery. Specifically, you're going to be delivering a monologue like the one you just watched me do in this video. So sit tight, I'm gonna take you through a few things you wanna note in this module. So one of the first things you'll notice is that this module is our midterm module, and it's gonna cover the next couple weeks of the class. So keep in mind the due dates as they're laid out in the overview. Make sure you read all of those details as well as the due dates. Some students have reported that their dashboard or their Canvas alerts aren't alerting them for every due date in due time for our different assignments. So be sure that you look at the module, keep a note of those for yourself, even put them in your calendar or on your phone, just so you can have an extra backup reminder in case you forget. And as well, you always know I'm gonna send announcements throughout the week to help keep you on track, but definitely put the dates down from the overview on your personal device so you can be sure to have everything covered. Pay attention to the schedule for this week as it lays out everything that you need to do, but you're gonna start off by reading through the module material. Watching this video is a part of that, so good job already. You're also gonna have some readings from our textbook chapters 2 and chapter 13. So chapter 2 talks about speech anxiety, so you wanna read that to refresh and think about ways that you can continue to combat any type of nervousness or speech phobia you might be feeling. And also you wanna read chapter 13, which talks about delivery. No perfect week or no perfect module than this module to focus on delivery, not only terminology, but strategies that you can do when practicing your delivery. There's also going to be a vocal warm-up PDF that you'll see in this module, and that's gonna relate to one of the first discussions you're gonna do, which is a self-assessment. So you're going to read through the self-assessment discussion, you're gonna utilize the vocal warm-up exercises. They're just tools, resources for you to use to practice your articulation, diction, your volume and projection, and also to help you think about how to add energy and emotions and tones into your voice. Those are all great tools that we want to keep building. You all are already off to a great start. I know from your last set of speeches that you all are building your delivery skills, so we're just going to keep that going. Then going into next week's part of the module, you will have a monologue that you've selected. There will be options for you to choose from, but you can also choose a monologue of your own. You'll see the guidelines for the monologue, but you want to keep something that's relatively short, probably 1 minute to 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes for the length. You also want to consider the language. For monologues and things that are from fiction that we're acting, there obviously might be a variety of different levels of languageness and explicitness with some word and word choice, but we still want to keep things as professional and school appropriate as possible. So if you have a question about the monologue you are deciding to choose or deciding between, send me a message in the Canvas inbox and we will discuss that, and I'll give you some feedback and some ideas, because maybe sometimes you might have a really great monologue that may have a couple of words you don't want to say, and we do have the ability to make cuts to the scripts. So we'll talk more about that if you have questions in the Canvas inbox. Once you have selected your monologue that you want to use for this module, you're going to have at least a week to practice the delivery, to use those vocal exercises, to record yourself and watch yourself back, and really you're just trying to do whatever you can to improve your overall delivery, your overall speaker confidence, and you want to try your best to be familiar with this monologue by the end of this midterm. You want to have as much practice as possible so that you can have the words pretty close to memorized in your mind, and that will help free you up to think about things like the emotion and the other layers to our delivery. And as always, you will have some discussions to post to. You'll have your monologue video that you will record and post as well. And then you will do some replies to your peers. So just make sure you're looking at all of the due dates in the module, like I mentioned earlier, so you can stay on track with everything coming up. And I will, of course, send out more announcements throughout the week so you can keep following along. If you have any questions, don't forget to message me in Canvas inbox. Otherwise, good luck.